Hello and welcome to Beyond the Dream, our Tales of Dream after show. Welcome. I would love your immediate reactions to the fight that you are all in.
I'm surprised that you let me jump all the way over to the captain, but I appreciate it. I was sitting here, I was like, I could use this bonus action, or I could use this thing, and you were like, you get there, and I was like, nice, I get there.
What you all will find is that when you are in space and there is strange gravity and strange air, which, by the way, I've been watching just way too much Spelljammer content, so it's very different fights in space.
I'm gonna jump more, is what I've learned.
It's
Violet
true.
is regretting not jumping, for sure.
Always good to also realize. In fact, I should probably say that you guys would I think intuitively know that if you maybe jump in the wrong direction, you will probably be floating out in space for quite a while.
Yeah,
There's positive and negative to it all.
So I could win by pushing the captain and then Misty stepping away.
Yeah, off they go.
But push him away from his ship.
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't want to mess with a lot of the gravity mechanics, but in Spelljammer, you actually have that if you come at each other from two different planes of gravity, there's a skill check, and one of you guys win, and you can win a battle just by forcing the gravity to change on someone else's ship, and suddenly everyone tumbles off into space.
That.
Oh my
That is so
god.
cool.
Yeah, no, it looks like it's going to be a fun fight.
Yes, I am very excited. I've been planning this for a while. These evil pirate whalers.
I know. They have a whale. I have high priorities of saving the whale.
Not on my watch.
Yeah, what did y'all think of your first time in space?
I loved it.
Yeah. No, it's really cool.
Yeah, I think it was fun and exciting.
The whales were so cool. That was just such a fun thing to add in.
One of my favorite things in the world is space whales. I just love the idea so much.
They come up so often.
Yes, Star Trek, Star Wars, wherever they pop up, I love them.
I love it too. I love everything about this adventure. I love Spelljammer coming up. I'm super excited for all of this.
I cannot wait for Spelljammer. It comes out in 2 days, but my pre-order says it won't be arriving for a week. So
That doesn't seem fair.
I know I ordered it early too, but it's been a long time.
Mm-hmm.
I also ordered it when it was on sale, so maybe that's part of it. What is your I as you can tell, I love space. It's very important to me. I was gonna put up NASA images in the background of our stuff, but I ran into trying to figure out the legality of it, and it was confusing. So they are a public agency, but there's some weird stuff. Are any of you guys into space and space type stuff?
Oh, I love space stuff. Always have been a big fan of everything related with space.
Love me some good sci-fi space adventures.
Yeah, it is very, very cool. Especially with all the new telescope stuff now. One of the favorite places I went to Africa at one point, and we went to the salt flats. It's the darkest place I've ever been. And I could actually see the Milky Way, like you would picture it, when they show you on TV and stuff. I'm like, oh, it actually looks like that. That's real. It was one of the coolest things I've ever done.
Oh my gosh, I
That's
have
so
to
cool.
do that. That is so
That's
exciting.
awesome.
Yeah, I want to try and get to one of the dark zones, because there's some in Ontario. I've just never made it because they're in the middle of nowhere, to actually see the stars properly.
It hurts every day that you have to know a lot about physics to go into knowing about space academically, because I'm like, I love physics, no thank you. Stars, cool.
I have been thinking about that so much lately that because I follow so many scientists online, and it's like, I have so much of an urge to go to grad school to be like an astrophysicist, except for the physics.
That's fair.
I just want to learn about space. I don't want to deal with algorithms and coding and equations.
I've always been more attracted to space in the like poetic way, which it was probably very obvious by like this entire episode how my character has been. Just very.
Oh my god, that speech! I just have to say that speech with Issa was so good. I loved it so much. Not speech,
the flirting,
the pickup line. Yeah, it was so good about us being star stuff. I loved it.
Oh my gosh, yes. No, because like literally, like I was sitting there and I was thinking about it, and I was like, how can I flirt and involve space? So like that's just literally like that's the kind of stuff I think about, because like I always was into like Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, that likes to like it mixes in humor with a lot of these like probing questions, like what are we? Who are we? And so I'm like that part of space of like the question, that is like my big thing of like just the wonder and the magic. So Spelljammer is perfect, is what I'm trying to say.
I'm so there's so much opened up. I just feel like Spelljammer like changes D&D, and I'm so excited to have like space adventures and to have it, like, you know, that you can have very like hard sci-fi now, but you could also do a ton of, I love Hitchhiker's Guide, and I will, if I ever run a Spelljammer game, it will be full of references to all my favorite sci-fi. There will definitely be a ship with the improbability drive.
Oh, absolutely.
Infinite improbability.
And like if we're talking about the memories as well, like y'all's was so good.
We're so mean.
Oh my god, no.
I was also so mean though.
No, it was
I'm like,
everyone.
how do we not remember each other?
I think Will honestly like blocked that out. Like she was like, I don't want to think about this. Like it's too stressful to even try and remember. I think she just like blocked it out. Didn't even think of it. When we got back, I almost when we like got into the dream plane right after that memory, I almost wanted her to just be like, you but I was like, nah, I don't think she would do that. She's a bit less confrontational than that unless someone confronts her first. But
as you say, you pulled your notes out. I was like, I could be like, oops, I spilled my water all over your but I didn't want to do that. I was like, that would be funny narratively, but me as a person doesn't want to do that. It was sort of like weird because I was like, I can't tell if this is where Em was wanting to wrap the memory up or if we were actually going to go to the show afterwards in the thing. So I was like, I have to find some way. I was like, the first thing I was like, we're going to throw knives at you. Sorry.
And once again, Ellie failed at something I'm supposed to be good at.
The dice want to tell a good story. At that, you just said you guys were just starting your performances. You were just getting into, the groove. Yeah, let's talk about those memories. What did you guys think of these two groups of three?
I think they were both fantastic in different ways. Like, which was nice. They kind of had like a nice sort of balance between like very kind of heartwarming and then also like silly.
Yes. I love that we've had a mix of vibes every single memory episode. It's been great.
Yeah, I enjoyed getting to... Sorry. I enjoyed getting to do something after the ship because both of my two memories previous have been when Lucky was still on the ship, and he sort of got a little bit more mean after that happened. And so I enjoyed getting to explore that a little bit more.
I love how willing you guys are to like do these complex relationships, like be annoyed with each other, be flirting with each other, having all this tension and stuff. It is so good.
I think sorry. I just want to say, I think my headcanon for the memory is that Will was working on learning Find Familiar so that she can have a friend.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, or not headcanon, I made the character. It can be whatever I want. But yeah, I think she didn't learn Find Familiar until after she and Issa broke up because she was a little lonely and needed a friend.
Oh my goodness, I love
That's so
it.
sad.
And I'm wearing, oops, wrong side. I'm wearing another chameleon shirt today.
Oh.
Even
Yeah,
though
we
I didn't bring him out, but yeah.
Yeah, we haven't seen Alistair this episode yet.
Not yet, not yet.
We'll see how he responds to space. What were you gonna say, V?
Oh, so many different things. I just love. I like y'all's memory was so good. Like even like the failures at things that you're supposed to be good at. I really thought that like fit really well with this being like y'all's like. You mentioned that it was like one of your like first performances or whatever. So like that was really cool. Just everything was an absolute riot. Like even from the beginning when y'all were talking and weren't interacting with Will yet, and Will was like making like these like annoyed faces. Oh my god, I was absolutely losing it. I just could not. It was so funny. And then like y'all started interacting, and oh my gosh, the water, and then the paint. Oh my gosh, I absolutely lost it. I couldn't.
I don't know if I've mentioned it before, but I like have in my backstory that Lucky does little watercolor painting, so he absolutely has a little like tin with him, and I do think he probably turned that red piece of paper into some sort of like sunset painting. You know?
I love it. Bringing it back to
also-
the other memory.
I also really liked Briar's choice to do the arm wrestling contest. I thought that was so
Yes.
cool. I thought that was like a fun way for like the crew to interact with each other.
Within the first few minutes of y'all's memory, my like cheeks were hurting from smiling. It was, and your guys' flirting was so good. It was.
It was so good. I was like, am I getting jealous? I'm not supposed to know this is happening. Like,
That's so good. Yeah, Jen said like in like the private chat that like they physically could not talk. They were like, yeah, I can't. So yay. But you know, that was fun. It was a little nerve-wracking because it's kind of like you can't decide whether you're suave or not. Like that's not a thing that you can just be like, oh, yep, I'm a heartbreaker, you know? Like I'm good at chatting. And if you can't, like if like it's easy to tell if you're not good at it. So I was like, well, let's hope Violet is.
Vi was fantastic.
So that was cool. I loved, that was so fun. I really liked the like that like whole like awkward the touch with the mood gem. I think that adds so much to like every scene. So I like that was such a good choice of Jen's just across the board. And then like Briar coming back in to like just fuck around. That's such like a sibling thing to do.
Yeah, the Briar talk at the end did not go the way I was expecting it to.
Yeah.
Like I was expecting it to be like a shovel talk opposed to like, yeah, Vi's could break your heart.
Danielle is amazing. Danielle always surprises me whenever they open their mouth. It's like, I did not expect that. That's great. What a chaotic character. Yeah, you guys play siblings so well.
I really like that was like my favorite choice. I really do enjoy being siblings with Danielle. I'm glad that like they've leaned into the sort of like the relationship of like, yeah, like you can get along and be like really tight, but you can still annoy the shit out of each other. Like that's still totally acceptable. And that makes for like some of the best moments. So that was really cool.
Yes, it was. Just all your guys' memories. I have loved them so much. It's so interesting too, because it's a place, like, I think as a DM, it's the place where I have the least like to say. Like, it's just like, this is what y'all are doing, and you get to decide. Which I really love, because you make crazy cool decisions.
I really wanted like Will to pass that insight check and like notice that something was going on, or Vi, either one, to notice that Issa was being weird. But no,
we're both still just totally clueless.
Just whatever. Vi is just like, wow, I just completely misread that. Like, whoa, no.
Issa is so interesting. It's very like hard to read, very hard to read. We are making our way. Next episode will be the finale. Have you guys been thinking about what you will ask of the demi-goddess of dreams?
Probably should be.
Yeah, I've been trying to.
Yeah.
I don't know what Ellie wants.
It's very interesting. I think that it's essentially like giving you guys like almost a wish spell, although there's some special stuff about it. So I'm very intrigued to see what y'all do.
See, I'm happy.
Don't trust Sonora to not mess it up.
Yeah.
Are these genie rules?
Like, I know what I'm wishing for. It's for my ship back. But if I say that, will it, like, send us back in time? Will it, like, I get the ship, but it's like a Ship of Theseus situation, and it's just a different ship, and it's, like...
It could be tiny.
A tiny model ship. It could be anything.
Yes. All options are great. We shall see what happens with it. We watched. I'm curious as to know. This adventure is completely inspired by Treasure Planet. Some Spelljammer and some like real space physics type stuff also, but mostly Treasure Planet, which I was able to watch with B. Have the rest of you guys seen it?
I watched it a few years ago.
If I watched it, it was
For the
like
first
15
time.
years ago. Like, I need to rewatch it.
Yeah, I hadn't seen it, and then a friend was like, "You haven't seen this," and forced me to borrow her DVD and watch it.
Did you like it?
Yeah, it was good.
It's very underrated, mostly because it just was not commercially popular at the time it came out. But me and my friend were like obsessed. We saw it in theaters. Our tiny little, I forget when it came out, but probably when I was like 9 or 10, was just like, why aren't there toys everywhere? Why aren't there all the things that we're used to? And there was so much that I forgot too. That's like very cute, like the typical animation thing where it's just like every single scene they try and fill with like beautiful little characters and things that you can steal for your own characters.
We literally, like, it was so funny watching Treasure Planet, because like both being DMs, the whole time it was like, ooh, that would be this, we could use that as this over here. And it was just like the nerdiest Treasure Planet live one.
It's very hard for me to watch anything nowadays without seeing it through D&D.
Same. And playing games. Like
I was watching, I was just going through the room while my family was rewatching Game of Thrones, and it was like, I just started noticing like the armor, and it's like, oh, I think that's like padded leather armor. And that is like a full breastplate.
Hilarious.
Yes, I think that there's so many inspirations from Treasure Planet and Spelljammer too. There's no question. There's even like an ooze. You can play an ooze now, which is very exciting. Little plasmoid creature. Let's see. What are you guys most excited for? What are you expecting with this spacefaring swashbuckling voyage?
Before we get into that, I did want to say your maps are fantastic.
Oh, thank you. I hope you're not just saying that because I told you all that I did all of that.
No,
way too
well,
much time.
I would have said it anyways, but that makes them extra special. But that is something I'm actually looking forward to, like the rest of the, like where we are in this.
I'm very excited to see all of the stuff from like the prophecy rhyme thing that she did come to light. I wrote down like the little bits and pieces that I could, but like we've still got to get to the dense jungles and something covered in vines and a hunt. Like, where's that coming from?
Yes, I wanted to ask, is there any way that you could post like the rhyme in the Discord?
Oh, sure, for sure. I can definitely do that. Yeah, I spend enough time.
You know, I love a riddle, and I love to
yes
break these things down and connect dots that aren't there.
For sure. I've spent enough time on Rhyme Zone creating these poems that I should probably.
Please show them off.
This one's a little off. I could not get the meter right, but
it's okay. Like, listen, poetry is spiritual. Okay, it's within all of us. It's okay to drop a rhyme every now and then. Literally, like I wrote, like I can't even remember what the poem was, but I was a teen, and I posted this poem on this forum, and I was super proud of it, and I was super excited, and like the first like people were saying it was nice or whatever. And then the first like constructive criticism of it was, hey, don't be afraid to drop a rhyme every now and then. Like, let one go. It doesn't have to be exactly perfect.
That's true.
Like, so, and I've held on to that.
I had the weird experience in school where I was either very good at things naturally and rewarded for that, or I just didn't do them and I just completely avoided them if I was bad. So I never learned anything. I seemed to be naturally good at writing where all of my teachers were like giving me A's, and I was like, cool, this is awesome. And then I got to high school and I had like my first bit of criticism where I wrote a poem and I decided not to do any punctuation because, you know, E. Cummings doesn't do punctuation. You know, like it's supposed to be freeform, and she literally the prompt was freeform, but yeah, I got a C, and I was very upset.
Where's your teacher? I beat her up for you. Poacher can do whatever you want it to be.
I was very similar. I really delved into things I was good at, and then I just didn't do things that I wasn't. And writing was English in particular was like one of the subjects that I was really good at, and like I was in this like creative writing class, and like my pieces like usually like got like the best grades, and like sometimes she would pick like star pieces and I got a lot of those. And then there was one time that I worked really hard on a piece and it didn't get picked, and I was like upset. Like I was like sitting there and I was like and like a friend of mine or acquaintance said, hey, like it can't always be you, like you gotta lose some of them for the rest of us to be able to. And you know, it's like that mindset when you're a teenager. It's like everything's about me, you know, like this is my bubble and this is like my like range of thinking.
Yeah, I was in I was bringing it back to D&D a little bit in a circuitous route. I was in a like creative writing workshop in college my freshman year, and it was horrific. It wasn't a class, it was like an extracurricular, and it was put on by a creative writing like PhD student, and I couldn't, like, at the time I was too naive and young to tell why, but it was because it was just like he was creating this very like negative atmosphere where everybody just kind of like picked apart each other's work, and it was like 2 people a week, and I was like dreading my week, and my thing was picked apart. It was horrifying, and I quit. And it wasn't until I quit that I noticed that like, oh, every person that had their thing that week then never came back. Like every person who shared their work publicly, it was horrible. So I didn't do any creative writing, even though I loved it for like years and years, until I started playing D&D, where it was like, oh, I have permission to write a character backstory, and and it's just for fun, and the only person that's gonna read it is my friend. Like, I'm back into creative writing. I love it.
This is just telling me that we need to all write poetry and share it with each other, because it hurts that you had such a negative experience with that. It hurts me physically.
Yeah.
So now all of us have to write a poem about one of the other characters and post it in the chat.
I would
God,
love
guys,
that.
I don't
Definitely.
write poetry. All creative. I don't do that.
Charlotte, I
You
love
don't do
that.
creative, Charlotte. God, your characters are so creative and good. You are great
You
at
do.
creativity.
Yes, but I'm like very methodical with it.
Write a couplet. Just one little couplet.
Guys, I went into law because I'm bad at art and math. Like, yeah. So what's funny, like the comments, is because we get students who've never had negative feedback, and then they come into where we are, and it is always shocking. Well, it's always like the best way to know them, how they deal with it, because like sometimes it's the first time they've ever got negative criticism, and some of them handle it great, and some of them, it does not go well at all, and they can't quit because it's their job. Well, they could, but it's a real bad idea.
That happens so often. I feel like every time you get to a different level, like, depending on the like culture of your college or, like where you're going. I went from a very loosey-goosey high school where we like, I literally could probably count the number of essays I wrote on like 2 hands for like all 4 years. It was like technology and art and not really that, mostly just like hanging out. And then I went to a really, really hard college and it was like, I've never learned to improve. I've just been told.
I love getting my stuff edited. My mother used to edit my stuff and like red pen everywhere. It was great because like it got better. And now I'm at the point where like sometimes people are like, I made a lot of changes and I'm like, good.
Yes.
Please make the changes. I might not accept them, but make them.
Yes, I was very happy. I was very lucky that all my professors were like, it was the first time I was getting C's and B's and I was like, no, but it was, but they were all like hugely marked up of absolutely everything that I needed to change. And I was like, yes, this, I love editing. Just tell me what I've done wrong.
I love it. I'll ask people for feedback on stuff. I'm like, what do you think? They're like, it's great. I'm like, I want to know all of the bad things. It won't hurt my feelings. Tell me so I can fix them, so I can improve it. I know it's not perfect. It never will be.
If I don't get comments, I assume they didn't actually read it.
Yeah. Or that they weren't interested, like, especially like if you're when you are putting out something creative, it's like, okay, you just, not your type of thing. That's cool.
I've considered sneaking in like actual real mistakes and things to see if they catch them.
Speaking of how loosey-goosey my high school was, there was a teacher that we were all wondering if he really actually read our reports at all. And so one of my friends wrote first page of the paper, totally normal. Last page of the paper, totally normal. The inside was a detailed description of everything the teacher was doing while he was writing it in class. Just like, and now Mr. Bowers goes to the other side of the room. I think he did get caught, but it was good.
That's hilarious.
Wonderful. Let's see. Any little stars y'all want to give to each other for tonight's performances?
I think I gave out all my stars. You're all amazing. You all did so good. I loved just like the dynamic in y'all's scene. That was so fun. And then like whenever we like got on the ship, I love how like creatively and differently everybody thinks. So star stickers.
Wonderful. I do have a star. My star is for Will, just because I love that Will asked so many questions. I did 100. Of course, I want to describe the mechanism that I've come up with this ship. All the specifics. Thank you for asking.
I am so glad. I was about to go like spend more time with Sunny and just ask her even more, but now we have a fight.
I saw in the
I
private
love
chat someone shipping Sunny and Will, and I love it so much.
It was
Love
me.
that. Love
I
that.
can't help it. I love it. I'm a sucker for romance.
Oh yeah, I love all the questions. It's so good. And Ellie would never have asked because Ellie's just like whatever. But like, I love knowing the backstory of everything. It's fantastic having someone who will actually ask.
Yes. I do. I love that you guys are all so good in character too. That it's like I was expecting when I brought up the insect person E-treat to Briar that Danielle would interact. I love that. Just like, nope.
That's what my star was. It was for
I was
that
gonna say
choice.
that
It was so
too.
interesting.
I now really want to psychically talk to Briar.
Yes.
That callback, because someone else said that and then you said that, and it was just so funny that it kept being said. That I can do that too, right? I love that.
Yeah,
so
I think
good.
Will's like taking notes. Never cast message at Briar.
Oh, it was.
I was gonna say I can't wait till the end of the captain fight.
Yes. Oh my god, yes. That for Lucky, for sure. Like, throwing yourself into... I was not expecting that. I was like, okay, so I rolled really badly on their initiative. So I was gonna have them, like, I expected that they would get on the ship and you guys would have, like, combat and stuff. And it's like, nope, in the air. Who knows what's gonna happen?
I'm jumping. I'm ready.
We're probably gonna do some rolls, for some figuring things out. Maybe some random rolls of what direction momentum takes you. We'll see. Yeah, lovely. And then of course Ellie's performance was amazing. It was so perfect. Such a good way to start out your guys' performance career.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's a little rough. But...
Oh, you definitely were successful. You got lots of gold, and I will tell you for sure, you got a lot of people coming to the tavern that night to see y'all.
That's the goal.
Wonderful. Okay, this is the end of our after show. We will see you all in 2 weeks where we do the finale of this season of Tales of Dream, the second part of our spacefaring swashbuckling adventure. We'll finish off this whaling battle and perhaps go to a secret island where there is a hidden treasure. We will see you all on the 28th. Good night, everybody.
Bye.
Night.
Good night.